Hey everyone, Dr. Mike here again, and I just wanted to make you a quick video here to give you a rundown of what you should kind of be looking at doing for your Unit 2 assignment for this journal article review. So let's take a look at this real quick and we can try to break things down from a fundamental standpoint. Okay, so with the prompt, it really leaves things pretty open-ended for you here. All you have to do is find a peer-reviewed journal article that somehow relates to motor development. Remember, as we talked about in class, that you can use this as one of your sources for your final paper, so keep that in mind as well. And I wanted to first show you how to properly search for something here, and then we'll run you through an example paper, and I'll also attach the paper for you here so that you have at least a template or an example to go off of here. All right, so first things first, you need to find, again, this peer-reviewed journal article. Where you're going to do that is you're going to go down here to the library, and from there, you are going to search here, and you want to make sure you click full text and peer reviewed. The full text is so that you get the full journal article, not just the abstract, and peer reviewed because you need to be a peer reviewed article. Now I already went ahead and found an article for myself, so I'm just going to be putting that in there. Now when you search, you may or may not have to sign back in again with your Park ID. And with mine's right here, what you want to be seeing is this PDF full text. If it does have an HTML full text, that's okay. You can always save that to as a PDF. Just remember, you're going to have to submit the article itself along with your actual written review. So if we click on here and just go to full text, you'll see that this gives me the full text here. What you want to then do is go up to this ribbon here, and you either want to download that or print it. If you print it, make sure you click for the destination to save it as a PDF. That way you'll have that so that you can submit it to the main assignment page. So here's my journal article. And what are the points that I need to cover? Well, if we go back to the prompt here, you need to be covering the introduction or background, and then the methods, results, discussion, conclusions, and future considerations. This is all pretty standard stuff, so I wanted to show you what I did for this example here. And this also is going to give you a little bit of an overview for your APA formatting as well. So remember, we are in the 7th edition of the APA Style Guide and Manual. All of your headers now are all just the page number. So when you do a header, all you're doing is clicking up to the header, page number, top of the page, and then you'll select plain number 3, which will give you that number in the right corner. And you don't need to have a different first page. I know mine's selected there. That's just because I revised this from the 6th edition. Your title of your paper, it should be about 4 or 5 spaces down from the top and centered boldface. And then you want to have your name, Department of Fitness and Wellness, Park University, Gilbert, the class name and title, my name, and then the due date here. No abstract is required, so don't worry about that. So on your first page, again, you want to put your title of your paper there, but again, that's going to be bold-faced and centered. You don't write the words introduction or background. You don't use a section header for the very first one. You're only using the title of your paper here. When you cite this paper for the purposes of this assignment, you only need to cite it one time because this is the only source you should be using. So you should only have that citation just once. And I have a very brief background here and really just summarizes this up in one sentence here. It's talking about dividing nationalized healthcare from different countries into 2 categories. categories that have a flawed system, and categories that have a successful system. That there in my entirety, that is pretty much my introduction background right there. You don't really need a whole lot to this. What I really want to see is the methods results discussion. So this is where you are going to be looking into your journal article here. And primarily, you want to be looking at how they went about and did their actual article or did the actual experiment, the results, what they actually found out, and then the discussion, what the authors say their results mean. So this is kind of a descriptive study. It's not really an experiment per se. What I did was I put in here just the titles of 2 different healthcare systems that are covered. So I put Canadian healthcare and Swiss healthcare. And I could even have titled this a flawed healthcare system and even a successful healthcare system if I really wanted to. Now, I just put this in here to give you guys a note, but this is part of the methods, results, or discussion section. And I am just writing essentially a summary of what these models are saying. Now, granted, I have some extra spaces here, and it's just to make this a little bit easier to see, but you won't include that, and you won't include any extra spaces. Then for future considerations, I just have what would be expected in the future here. So that would be breaking down really your last section here. But you see, it doesn't have to be too terribly in-depth. You just need to be writing what the overall summary of the article is, and then from there, you are synthesizing and disseminating your take on that for the future consideration section. Real simple. I mean, 1.5, 2 pages. This here is right around 1.5 pages. And if you look at all the words here, this is only 424 words. So really nothing that terribly in depth. Then last thing, make sure you have a reference page. Since you're only going to have one reference, you should just write the word reference. Make sure that's centered in boldface. For a journal article, it's author's last name, comma, and first initial. If you had a middle initial, you put that there as well. The year that is published. The article title. Article title is all in normal case. The only time you capitalize letters are the very first word, any word or any letter immediately after a colon or a dash, and then any proper nouns. No italics there. The journal name you want to put in italics, and you're going to capitalize every word that's over 3 letters. The journal issue you want to italicize as well. The journal edition you do not italicize. And then the page numbers. And then you want to put your DOI as a live link. So that's basically it. Pretty simple here. The most important thing to do is make sure when you summarize your article that you're putting everything in your own words. You don't want to be writing with direct quotes. And in fact, I do have it here twice that if you use direct quotes, you are going to get a grade of a 0. The only thing that should be directly quoted is the name of the article. So that's the only thing that you should have in quotes here. If you have anything else in quotes, that is going to be a grade of a 0. So if you have any other questions, as always, feel free to send me an email, shoot me a text. If not, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have, and we'll be discussing this in class next week. So until next time, I will see you all later.